Hello dear ones, this is Eleonora from the channel The Awakening Path, and today I want to give you an overview about this book, The Autobiography of a Yogi. First, I just wanted to give a big thank for each one of you that are supporting the channel by sharing, subscribing, leaving your like, your comments, your questions. Thank you very much for that. The Autobiography of a Yogi. Yogananda was the one who brought the yoga technique to the West. But let's talk about the saints of India, about Hinduism, for example. When you hear about Hinduism, our limited judgmental mind, based on little distorted pieces of information that we hear here and there, the vision that I had about Hinduism was they are polytheist, is a polytheist religious. They believe in many gods. And that is a complete lie. They don't. They believe that there is just one creator. Just like the Catholic faith, the Christianity, and many others, they believe in just one creator. In comparison with the other religion, with the Catholicism, for example, their deities, they are like the saints of the Catholic faith. But what they believe is we are all aspects of God. Each one of us, no matter which religion you associate yourself with, we are all aspects of God's consciousness. And once in a while, there are a big chunk, that's not really a beautiful word to talk about God, but there is a big amount of that consciousness, that light, that come and incarnate on earth, and with a big purpose. Sometimes that being incarnate, remembering who he is, remembering that he is one with God. And then he goes to fulfill his mission since the beginning. Some, they come like all of us, forgetting who they are. And then they will remember little by little, and sometimes there is a big event, and then they always have somebody that will gonna help them to remember who they really are. That they are an aspect of God that came here with a mission. And many of those deities, for example, who was an aspect of God that came to earth bringing a lot of God's self. Jesus. And Jesus was born awake. He always knew who he was, but not all God's self was activated when he was born. He had to learn to activate all his connection with God, and in the time of enlightenment, he reached that point that he merged his physical, his individual consciousness with Source, with God. But let's go back here. How about in India? Who was an aspect of God that came with lots of light? Krishna. And it's interesting that in India was the place where many of them Okay. Krishna, I have a list here. Shiva, Ganesh, Rama, Lakshmi, and of course our four figures here in our book, The Autobiography of a Yogi, that I'm going to explain pretty soon. So, and then there is another one that Buddha, for example, he was another aspect of God that came with a lot of light. Let me just go back a little bit. It's okay. So Buddha came with a lot of light. Why he didn't come with a lot of light? When you are created, you are considered a newbie soul. I already made a video about that. And as a newbie soul, when you decide to have a physical experience, to separate yourself from God and have an individualized experience, first you need to come as a mineral, and then vegetable, and then animal, and then as intelligent being with free will. After you reach the point of become intelligent being with free will, in the case of Earth, a human being, and then you need to go through all the process of evolution until you complete all the lessons that you are here to complete, until the point you can ascend back to source, until the time that you practice love throughout the day long enough that there is nothing in your heart, in your mind besides love. And then when you get rid of all your karma, that's another way to put that. And then you can ascend back to source. So, how about our book? As I told you, India, the Hinduism, they have a beautiful practice that they understand that God resides in each one of us. And they have many techniques, they have many initiations where they are able to connect their consciousness with God, with Source. So maybe many of you never heard about Babaji. Babaji, I'm not going to tell much about his story, but actually right now he is an immortal being. He was born as a regular human being, not really regular, he was an advanced soul. And he learned how to merge his consciousness with God by keeping his physical body. So he made a vow to keep his physical body until the ascension of the planet. So he may be liberated very soon. But for love, he decided to keep his body here on the planet Earth for all that time. And it's a long time. It's thousands of years. And for you to have an idea, when Jesus went to India, he spent some time with Babaji, get some initiation from Babaji on how to reconnect your consciousness to Source. So Babaji, he had many disciples, but one of his disciples was called Larihi Mahasaya. I'm really sorry. I know I'm not pronouncing any closer. You can laugh a little bit, but that's the worst you could do, I guess. Let me try it again. Lahiri Mahasaya. He came with the mission to share the technique of Kriya Yoga to the East and West. Not exactly to the East and West. First to the East. That was his mission. When you think about a monkey from India, you imagine a guy that hardly takes a shower, with a long beard and almost no eating, completely isolated from the society, just living for himself. And then you can even think, oh, what's the purpose of that? What good he's doing? He's just living for himself. Actually, he's doing a great job, because when they do that, when they go in seclusion and keep their connection with God, keep their vibration, keep vibrating in source consciousness, almost throughout the day or throughout the day for many years, they are keeping the vibration of the planet high. So they are giving a great service to the planet, and of course to humanity. But not all of them decided to live that way. The Larihi Mahasaya, for example, he was a family man, and he was reconnected with his guru, Babaji, when he was in his 30s, and he didn't abandon his family to just be a monkey. He jungled his job, his family, and his faith, and his mission during the rest of his life. And he did a great job. And he initiated and he taught the Kriya Yoga for many, many disciples, and give them permission to keep teaching other people. So that was the main mission of the Larihi Mahasaya, and he thought one of his disciples would become the Yogananda's disciple. I'm really sorry, this name will be really, really hard for me, but you can read it down. See, Sri Yukteswar. I'm not even trying, I'm really sorry. Let's just call him a disciple of Larihi Mahasaya and the guru of Yogananda. So this guru, he was a very advanced soul, and he was kind of a philosopher. He learned the Kriya Yoga. He would share the Kriya Yoga with all his disciples, and truly with anyone that sincerely would come to him asking for help to connect with God. If they were sincere, he would do that. And he also tried to make a bridge between the East and the West concepts about the Bhagavad Gita. This book, somebody gave it to me. I didn't read it yet, to be honest, but that's in my list to be read. So there is, he wrote, I don't know how many books he wrote, but he wrote one, it's called Holy Science. You can find it at Amazon. That's one that I'm gonna read too. And he prepared the Yogananda to come to the West, to come to US, and share the Kriya Yoga, share the techniques, share all the knowledge from India, all the knowledge that he had with the West, and help people over here also realize that they are part of God's consciousness and they are one with God. And by practicing Kriya Yoga, and there is many ways in meditation, they can reunite their individual self, their little consciousness, with the big consciousness that's God. So Yogananda, Ananda means bliss. That's why many of the gurus, you're going to have their name starting or ending with Ananda, because Ananda means bliss. And let me tell you something. When you sacrifice, when you play guilt, when you judge, when you are in fear, you are distancing yourself from Source. You are distancing yourself from God. God is love. God is bliss, and God is happiness. And we made as His image, we are all of that. So when you are really living our purpose, we are happy, we are in peace, and we have bliss. And we are abundant. So I guess that's what I want to share with you today. Today I really see all the saints of India with another eye, and all the Indian population with another eye, and with so much respect. And I really thank you for all the good vibration that you guys put into this planet that benefit not only India, but the whole humanity. That's really important. And why people want us to think that Hindu is a polytheist religion. Because when you learn to connect yourself with God, when you learn to connect with your true intuition, you are not easily manipulated. You just know what you need to do. You just know who you are. You have no fear. And this book has many to teach anyone, doesn't matter which religion you are, that is open for that. That is open to read this book. I probably am going to read again. But this is one of the best books I ever read. And I'm truly thankful for him to bring that knowledge to the West and for writing this book. This opened my awareness in a whole other level. Many things, many concepts that I had that was false, I don't have it anymore. They were replaced with the truth. And that's so powerful. That's very powerful. We are aspects of God, and God is everywhere, in everything. And what we are doing here is just playing a manifestation game. And the purpose of that is to learn, to experience. The main purpose of each one of us is to learn how to love. And by remembering, not to learn because that's in you, you never forgot. That's something that it can never be taken away from you. It can only be covered, like you cover, imagining your consciousness, a bright light, a bright ball of light, covered with a lot of layers. And those layers are all the false beliefs. You need to peel all those layers in order to see the light again. And then you peel the last layer, and then you merge with the sun, with the big source. I hope you enjoy what I had to tell you today. I probably went all over the place, but that's my review for this amazing, amazing book that I really recommend. Much love and light to you all.